Well, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Greg Tarantola. I'm a dentist here in Jacksonville, Florida. Our dental practice is not only about fixing teeth, but also helping people get healthy. So we're very proud about the other healthcare professionals that we work with as a resource to our patients. With that in mind, I would like to introduce Mihaela Telecon. Mihaela is a functional medicine and integrative nutritionist. Interestingly enough, she was a former doctor of veterinary medicine who fell in love with the field of human nutrition and decided to completely change her career path. She is the owner of Healing with Foods, LLC, which is a nutrition and wellness coaching practice in Atlantic Beach, Florida. Mihaela is passionate about helping people achieve their best health by using real whole food as medicine. She coaches individuals as well as groups on how to get back to traditional ways of eating and living and making the kitchen the most important part of your home. Mihaela, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Great having you. Mihaela, I know I've heard you say many times that food is medicine. Is this an overstatement, or what's the truth behind that?
Well, if you ask me, and I'll explain why, I say it's an understatement. So when I say that, I have in mind two things. One, food is much more than calories and macronutrients, meaning carbohydrates, protein, fats, or micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. Food is information. And what do I mean by that? Food has the ability to interact with our genetic material. We all know we inherit genes from our parents, grandparents, and so on. And we used to think that our genes are our destiny. For example, if in my family runs diabetes or everybody is obese, means I am going sooner or later to end up with diabetes or be obese. That was according to the field of genetics, because I inherited the obese gene. Well, with the new field of research called epigenetics, we now know that the environment is the one that controls the expression of our genes. In other words, I have the gene, but if I eat the right foods, if I move my body, if I control stress in my life, if I take the right supplements, if I sleep enough, and so on, I will keep under control that gene that predisposes me from getting diabetes or becoming obese. And the opposite is true. If I eat food-like substances, as I like to call them, processed foods, if I am a couch potato, if I have a lot of stress in my life that I don't know how to deal with, chances are I'm going to develop that diabetes or become obese.
Right.
So it's in your control. What goes in your mouth 3 or more times a day has the ability to dictate your health.
Very interesting.
That was one.
There's more.
Right, this is the way food interacts with our genes.
Okay.
Second is the way food controls inflammation. And you and I know very well that inflammation is at the root cause of most, if not all, chronic degenerative conditions. So inflammation is when you cut your finger, it's an acute inflammation, but inflammation that we are unaware of, or chronic or silent inflammation, is when you have a gum disease that's not yet full-blown, or when you have a cardiovascular disease going on, or when you have arthritis. So all those are examples of inflammatory conditions. That's the inflammation that we want to control. If you have acute inflammation, you want to allow to take care of the healing process. But the chronic inflammation is like a slow burning fire that slowly corrodes your health. And the diet we eat actually has the ability to control this inflammation. It's the way macronutrients, the carbohydrates, protein, and fats are interacting with the hormones in the body that actually control inflammation. Just to keep it simple.
Well, very good. Like I said, a very different way of thinking about the foods that we eat. Yes. And I know kind of a humorous thing I've heard in the past, patients, who have chronic diseases, their doctors would tell them, well, you didn't choose your parents correctly. So that certainly plays a role, but it's not the whole story.
It's not the whole story. And I know this is not food, but we are now much more aware of the mind-body connection as well. So if you think that way, that's what you manifest. So if you think I'm healthy, you are going to become healthier each day, given that you're taking the right steps. But if you say all the time, oh, I'm sick because that's what I inherited, even the best nutrition and exercise won't do as much as it can possibly do, because mind is one powerful medicine as well.
So that triad of mind, body, health.
Mind, body, health, exactly.
Okay. Well, as a dentist, I'm obviously about helping my patients get their teeth healthy, get their gums healthy, more importantly, get their mouth healthy, because a healthy mouth is the gateway to a healthy body. So tell me, Mihaela, what's the best diet for healthy teeth and gums?
I love this question. Like I love, what is the best diet for your brain? What is the best diet for your heart? Mouth is part of the whole body. Your brain is part of the whole body. Your heart is part of the whole body. You are one human being. So what is good for your mouth is good for your brain, is good for your heart. We cannot separate things. So now if I were to give you something, a tangible answer to where the audience can actually go and make a change based on it, I would say of what traditionally people ate for millennia. And imagine how people lived, I'm going to take it back, not even 100 years ago, maybe 200 years ago. So if you have to buy anything that's packaged, make sure it has maybe at the most 5 ingredients, I would say. You can read every single one of that ingredient and you recognize it as food. So that would be number 1. No processed foods, as much as possible. Number 2 would be, get to know your farmer and the farmer markets around. The more you eat locally grown in season foods, the better you are. And usually those foods come with no label. When it comes to animal foods, select wisely. And again, here is the point, know your farmer, because there's a difference in the meat and fat composition of animals that are raised on pasture, and they are fed their natural diet. And just to make a point, because some people don't even know, cows are herbivorous animals. They eat grass, not grains, not corn, not soy. So when you select your animal foods, be wise. Go to the local farmers so you get those grass-fed meats and the eggs coming from free-range chickens, wild caught fish. And eat your rainbow. Non-starchy, green leafy, and wonderfully colored vegetables you can eat. Those that usually grow above the ground in the summer. Another one would be make an oil change. Watch the fats you eat. Don't be afraid of eating fat, just it matters what kind of fat you eat.
Right. Well, very good information. So, as people are out there looking at labels, if you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't eat it.
I agree.
Well, everybody today is very busy, with life and work and family and activities and commitments, and, everybody tries to fit in living well and eating well into their busy lives. I know you've created an online nutrition program. It's a 24/7 virtual nutrition assistant. Can you tell our listeners a little more about that?
Yes, I would love to. That's one program that I love. I put a lot of knowledge, effort, and love in it when I created. I created it with having in mind people that are usually busy, just like you said, whether they're professional or business owners, and they have this awareness that food is, just like I said, more than just eating, putting something in your body. And they are confused about the conflicting nutrition information out there. They don't know where to start, how to find that fresh market, how to prepare that wholesome meal that doesn't take a whole day to make. So it's a very hands-on program. It's online, meaning while the course is live, it goes for 8 weeks. Each week the participants have access to a number of videos, which are short videos, 15 to 30 minutes in length, where I educate about the subject. The program, actually the name of the program is the Anti-Inflammatory Nutrition Program, because as we already touched on, inflammation is one common cause to many problems. So if we address inflammation, then we only can expect better health. In each video you would learn what you need to do, what are the facts. The program puts together the latest nutritional information with traditional wisdom. It's a nice blend, exactly, it's a nice blend. So each week you have action steps. Very easy to implement action steps that step by step, before you know, by the end of 8 weeks, you would have at least 50% improvements or changes in your daily eating, meal planning, food selection. But then, once you finish 8 weeks, you still have access to the program. And then every time I have a new class, because I deliver the program 3 times a year, you can participate again in the program. And each week, I'm going back a little bit to how it's delivered, we have live calls, group calls, where everybody pitches in on the phone and they ask their questions and I answer questions. Those are recorded as well. So if you can't make a live call because, you know, you're busy or you're traveling, actually I had one participant in the last class, she went to Spain.
Okay.
And she did it from there because everywhere you go you have internet. She of course learned the material. She couldn't apply quite everything because she was in Spain, but it helped her stay on track, not go too off on sweet and things that we usually do when we travel. And then you can send the questions via email and I answer them in the call, and then you can listen to the call when you have time. So that's why I call it 24/7 virtual nutrition assistant, because once you enroll in the program, you have unlimited access for the rest of your life, my life, or the program's life, which I intend to have it for the long term.
Very good. So once they finish the formal program, it's still a lifetime resource.
And you can download everything, all the PDFs, the recipes, the menus, the shopping list, all that you can download, including the videos. You can download to your computer and you can listen to it without having to be connected to the internet. But if you're traveling and you want to listen to it, you still can access it straight from the website. So I try to make it very user-friendly.
So if I understand you correctly, it's not only great information, but it gives the participant a step-by-step protocol to put it into action. That's what people today need in their busy lives.
Exactly. And if you cannot apply everything as we go through, you always can go back. Once you have the big picture, the overview, you always know which week you have to go back because you need to, maybe you need to add these fermented foods in your diet, so you go to module 5 where we talk about fermented foods. Or perhaps you want to learn how to make those green juices or the green shakes, you go right back to module 2 where we talked about greens and the rainbow and antioxidants and all that, just to give you some examples. So it's a great virtual nutrition assistant.
A great resource. Yeah. So tell me, Mihaela, how can people learn more about you and what you do?
Well, I have a physical office in Atlantic Beach. However, I do have a website. It's called healingwithfoods.org.
Healingwithfoods.org.
Where I encourage people to go and browse. I have many informational articles. I release a video blog once a week with interviews with different health practitioners in the area, similar to what we are doing now. Also with recipes or products that are out there, real food, although they may come in a package or a box. I have great information on the website, and of course if anybody wants to work with me one-on-one, I have various services I offer.
And if they want to get in touch with you by phone, your phone number?
Yes, 954-260-2698.
Mihaela, you obviously are very passionate about what you do, and I can see how you and your program and your enthusiasm can help many, many patients get healthier.
I love what I'm doing.
Well, Mihaela, thank you for providing this great information to our listeners. Really appreciate you being here.
Thanks so much for inviting me.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.